What up, everybody? This is your host Rob, back with another episode of She Said He Said. This is just another solo show. Once again, thank you all for rocking with me. Those of you who are listening on SoundCloud, YouTube, posting in the group, or responding to posts in the group, I truly appreciate it. Let me give you a little bit of an update. I resigned from my career in education. Taught for a while. I officially resigned, and I'm going into a different field full time. What that means is a lot of things that I want to do and need to do, I can do now because my schedule is a lot more clear. I'm still going to be very busy, but I'm going to have a lot more time to do things that I enjoy, like, my gaming stuff. Shout out to Thumb Thrasher Gaming. My DJ stuff, Complete Vision Entertainment, sponsoring companies there. So shout out to them. I'll be a lot more involved with projects and things of that nature. And also, you all will get the consistency that you deserve from She Said He Said. I'm gonna continue to try to pump out content. The crew has been going through some things, Nika moved. Vixen has been having work struggles, as you probably heard on one of the last episodes she was on. Alex got a new job and about to get deployed and all that kind of stuff. Tori's still in college, so she's doing the college thing, so she's been out of pocket. And me just had 3.5, 4 jobs. So that has officially changed, and I'll be back on this tip. We'll all be back on this tip. But what I want to talk to y'all about today is the word compatible and compatibility. A lot of times when we look at someone that we want to date or we want to talk to, I don't think we truly consider compatibility the way that we should. We all look at people, and of course, the physical attraction. Excuse my text message. Let me mute this show. The physical attraction is definitely a big thing. Absolutely. You do. Or not just you, but I believe any and everybody wants someone that is pleasing to the eye, because we all have desires that go beyond mental satisfaction, if you know what I'm talking about. But when I say compatible, this is just me personally. I want someone who's truly going to compliment me as a person. Now, in order to find that, there's a couple of different ways that it happens. And I think really there's only a couple ways. There's only two ways, in my opinion, that it really happens. One, you don't know much about yourself. You get with someone, and in being with them, you learn about yourself as they learn about themselves. Or two, you take time out, you learn more and more about yourself, then you seek someone who you think will fit that. And as you date them, you're basically analyzing and looking to see how well that is, quote unquote, working out. That's pretty much the way it goes, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I know there's other thoughts and philosophies out there, but I feel like I've been on both sides of the coin. Dating when I was younger, definitely, you don't really have much direction other than I want to make money and be successful. I feel like that's the basics of life. There's that. And then there's, the quote unquote more. I've been with women who have a lot more direction and really know what they want. I've been with women who don't know what they want at all. Me personally, I've always known that I wanted to be a quote-unquote entrepreneur. Where I wanted to focus that at, wasn't too sure. Now that I've gotten older, since my last relationship, I really had to consider compatibility a bit more. We got along, we complemented each other, but we weren't compatible. Because of the way that I was and because of the way that she was. Wasn't an issue, wasn't a quote-unquote problem, just personality types and work ethic and just mentality towards how to go about things. There was a lot of clashing, there was a lot of conflict, and it just didn't work out. So moving forward, I haven't dated anyone in a very long time, like literally not even going out on a date in a very long time, because I've been enjoying me. I've been transitioning careers. I've been building my brands, and I've been getting to know me and really thinking about my future, because I don't date for the short term. I'll go on dates for fun and stuff like that, but if we're going to be in a relationship, I'm looking long term. So in order to help with that and to be fair with the other person, this is just me my thinking. I said, let me go into this well equipped with what I like and what I know I want out of life. That way I can help paint a picture for this person on the front end. Or I should say a clearer picture, because I'm always upfront with people and let them know what I'm into or where I'm at. But basically painting a clear picture so they can have an idea of what they're getting into before they get into it. Because it's not really a preventative tool or a safeguard, but I just like to let people know, hey, this is what's up. I'm doing XYZ. If you have experience with this, or feel like you can complement this, or you feel like you have an issue with this already, or something that happened in your past, I'm letting you know what time it is up front. That way we can avoid the BS, right? So that's just my approach. That's just my take on it. Beyond that, it's let's get together and see what's up, you know, because a lot of you have to give people a chance. Now, I know I gave my 2 cents earlier about how I feel about, going into it not knowing yourself versus going into it knowing yourself more. Just because you know yourself does not mean you know how the other person will react to who you are. Do I prefer dating someone who has a bit more direction and knows what they want out of life, probably on the same level as me? Yes, I do. Because when you know what you want, your actions will be deliberate. My actions were deliberate. I said I wanted to switch careers. I set a 3-year plan. Actually, I set a 5-year plan, and I did it in about 2.5 years. Part of it, most of my plan. So I've transitioned. Now I have about 2.5 more years to finish the transition and to turn it into what I want to turn it into, so I can continue to, 1, live comfortably, but 2, live beyond where I was in the past. And that transition period wasn't easy for my ex, and she didn't hang in there with me, which is fine, but I moved on. We moved on. So here I am. I'm going to continue to progress, because one of the things that happens in a relationship, and it has to happen, there has to be compromise and sacrifices. And so moving forward, I said to myself, there's certain things that I'm not willing to sacrifice. There's certain things that I want to be in place so that this person knows that this isn't a whim or a thought or a feeling or a spur of the moment. This is part of him. So, we'll have that understanding on the front end. But anyway, like I was saying, give people a chance. That's why you date. That's why you go out. That's why you converse. That's why you truly get to know someone. I think a lot of this stuff is like these days, a lot of people get on social media and get a snapshot of somebody. They'll read a timeline, and look at your Instagram and look at your Snapchat or whatever else you use. One, you got to be very careful with what you put out there, because a lot of the times it's true to who you are. If all you doing is putting up smoking and drinking and partying, then that's the perception that people are going to receive. Doesn't mean that that's a quote unquote bad thing, but that's all they see. Just like there's a lot more to me than just video games, but if all I put up is video game stuff, then people think, oh God, all he does is play video games all day long. When in fact, I might, in a 7-day span, I might play Xbox maybe about 3 hours in a 7-day span. Don't have time for it. That number's gonna go up. But anyway, so that's one, impressions. But back to the key or the core of what I was starting to say with compatibility. Find someone who's going to support you mentally. Find someone who's going to support you emotionally. Find someone who's going to support you constructively. Sometimes people lose faith and don't believe. Like if you have a friend, because I was this guy. I was always jokey, like super jokey. Nobody took me serious. And then I realized no one took me seriously because I didn't take myself seriously. I would joke around too much. But I had people who believed in me, and they pushed me to like, yo, you got to be a bit more firm. You can't joke with people. You got to let them know you mean business. So I had to make that transition and change in myself, and I did. So that's what I mean. When you're with someone and you know that they have quote unquote certain habits and they want to do something that's not conducive to their normal habits, don't just dismiss them and say, oh, you know, baby, you can't ever go work on the docks because you don't like waking up early. You lazy. You don't like waking up early. Well, if that's something that they're truly passionate about, you should push them, and not too hard, but push them and try to help them get there. Don't just dismiss it because of who they are right now. That doesn't determine who they're going to be tomorrow. You know, we're all a work in progress, and we all have, you know, a long ways to go in life to get to where we need to be. And it takes some of us longer than others to realize that comes with personal sacrifice. So being in a support, what's the word I want to look? How do I want to put it? A highly supportive relationship is what I'm looking for, because now I work for myself. There's no paycheck coming every 2 weeks. I got to get out here and really make my money. You know, I gotta make sure that my hours each day count. So part of that is making sure I'm consistent with this podcast and making sure I'm consistent with DJ gigs and continue to push my gaming brand, Thumb Thrasher Gaming. I went to New York Comic Con last year. I'm going again this year. I already got the plane ticket. I already got my event tickets. I'm working on booking my first wedding for my DJ events this year. Those are the things that I need support in, you know. So that's what you need to think about. You need to think about that when it comes down to compatibility and the person you want to be with. Will that person be with me? Will this person be a positive influence or a negative influence? Will this person be complaining the whole time, or will this person be helping me load the stuff in the car? You know, because the funny thing that cracks me up is we don't truly support the people that are right next to us that we will directly benefit from. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, I see some relationships sometimes, and just because things don't go smoothly, which a lot of times they don't. When someone's transitioning into something new or doing something outside of the box, it's hard, it's expensive, it's time consuming, it's frustrating, and no one likes the ugly part. No one likes the ugly part. However, y'all be smiling ear to ear once they hit that million. Then it's like, oh, we did it. Or, oh, baby, I knew it the whole time. Did you know the whole time? Were you truly supportive the whole time? Because it's kind of like the story about the hen that was cooking the cornbread. The hen kept going out asking the other farm animals, hey, do you want to help me get the pluck the wheat? And they're basically, the hen was asking all the other farm animals to help gather the ingredients to make this cornbread. And all of them kept saying, not I, not I. Y'all know that story. Nobody wanted to help. However, the hen, or whatever the animal was, ended up doing all the work themselves, baking that cornbread or cake or whatever it was, put it in the window. You know how to do old school, to open the window and sit it on the windowsill to let it cool. All of a sudden, all the farm animals come gathering. Oh, I want a piece, I want a piece, I want a piece. Nah, you don't get a piece of this. You don't get to sit back and watch me struggle and push and strive, and you didn't support me when I asked you for your support and I needed your support. Now that I've reached the end result, or now you want to reap the benefits? Nah, that's for the people who are there for me. So y'all keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out and you know, for who's truly supporting you and things of that nature. I feel like I'm going off on a tangent. I don't want to do that. But compatibility, man. If you know you're heavy into the church, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't want to have premarital sex, you need to stay away from someone who doesn't go to church, who does smoke, who does drink, who wants to have premarital sex. You might want to stay away from that if you have the conversation with them and they're not trying to head in that direction. Your actions have to show. I'm not going to tell anyone who to date or who not to be with, but look at people's actions. I can tell you anything. I can say anything to you. I can try to convince you all day. You know, everybody can turn into a quote-unquote temporary salesman, but your actions will speak. You just have to be very careful of who and what you invite to your life, because sometimes those sacrifices will cost you a lot more than it will cost them in the end. And I mean, granted, everything we do in life teaches us a lesson, but kind of like college, sometimes it ain't free. So I just wanted to speak on compatibility. Always take the time, for you people out there who feel like you can't ever be single, always take some time out for me. Take some time out to love me. Take yourself to the movies. And if you're embarrassed to go to the movies by yourself, go to the movies on a big Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Just randomly after work, hop on whatever theater you got, website like Regal Cinema, so we have down here. I'll pop it up. We got a movie playing on 450. I can catch that. Bong. I'm out. I'll catch a movie and go. Not that I'm embarrassed to go to the movies by myself, because I love movies, so I'll go see it. But do things like that. Treat yourself. Learn to love yourself and learn more about yourself. I've always preached this because it helps you be with someone else. I just don't think that someone can love someone else if they don't love themselves first, because you got to be with you forever. You can't get rid of yourself. So please consider that. And also really think about compatibility. Think about what's a reasonable sacrifice and compromise in a relationship, and vice versa. You know, hold your partner accountable. Hold them accountable. And also they're going to hold you accountable. So you need to make sure that it's give and take. But get someone who's going to compliment you. You know, get someone that's going to help you. Honestly, I think the next person that I date is she's either gonna own her own business, or to some extent she's either gonna own her own business or have formerly owned her own business and now has a career. But it's gonna be someone who has an understanding of what I'm trying to do. You know, preferably a music lover. I don't know. But I know that there's some things that there's gonna be particular things that I'm gonna be looking for. I'm going to stay prayed up about it, because I'm not the best at picking women. Not too bad either. But I'm going to stay prayed up about it as well. And just go from there, man. Each day is just enjoying waking up, taking in a fresh, deep breath of the new day. And my watch is going off in the background. Taking in a fresh breath, a breath of fresh air, and continuing about my day and enjoying life. You know, for me, the glass is half full. So I want you all to take some of these words into consideration. Feel free to respond below. Feel free to email us. She said, he said 16@gmail.com. She said, he said 16 on Facebook. We are also on SoundCloud if for you people who are on YouTube listening, and we're also on YouTube for those of you who are on SoundCloud listening. This is your host, Rob, and this has been another episode of She Said, He Said. We'll catch you next time. Peace.